tools, like a static selector. This is nothing else. The customer says, okay, these are the loads. How can I get them? Once more, through our organization, some of them directly, all web-based. Ideally, we are speaking about standard. If we are not speaking about standard, once more, it goes through our organizations who are looking for that, and it should go as fast as possible. You can configure the crane, you can plan it. If you have the competence, we will help you on that. Our partners will help you on that. At the end, in combination with BIM, in combination with a camera system, in combination with a system, which in our house is called LIDAT, you can get out the loads. You know how many times has the crane worked with which load. Do I really need that crane type? Might it be easier with a smaller crane? Which wind loads do we have? Is the crane operating or not? So with all these tools, we are trying to support our organization and our customers to get answers as fast as possible, and especially earlier than in the past. Some other tools, like manuals, in the former times, obviously we had to send papers. Today, also this is available very easy. The same is with spare parts. So this means customers can go into the web, can load down their manuals, can order in the near future, I must say, not as today, in the near future, their spare parts. Obviously, we always organize that it's going in the right way and that these customers will get the right competence to order the spares, because obviously we know that there are the easy things in our business and there are the more complicated things in our business where they need a technical support locally, which we are always guaranteeing. At the end, we have a lot of sales service and technical information. Also this in the past, all in paper. This is nothing special, but it offers us for the future to give our customers all these things very fast, very easy. I come back to the iPhone. Nobody today is running anymore with papers. If you have a problem, if you are sitting at the table in a restaurant, you have a question, you will realize 4 or 5 people will take their telephone and will check what is the answer for this. We will not wait until tomorrow, we directly get it. And nobody will say, let's go back at home, take a paper or a newspaper and see which is the answer. So we try to give to our customers their needs, and at the end we have 15 different software tools. To give you an idea, we have since the last more than 20 years 4,000 informations about our cranes which customers can load down. We have more than 18,000 manuals. When I saw this figure I was shocked. I was saying hopefully we don't need 18,000 manuals for our cranes. Obviously at the end we are speaking about a lot of different languages as we are working worldwide and international. Coming back to the loads, to the possibility as a customer to say, okay, we want to put this crane into that position with this amount of tower sections and with this jib lengths. The possibility is also there to load down the static calculations. And finally, I can tell you roundabout, we are offering our customers almost 200,000 documents and informations to be as fast as possible. To close the circle, starting with my sales team, to give you a short idea what we are doing elsewise. In Germany, we started 4 years ago our second-hand business. We have a yard there where we are selling, buying second-hand tower cranes, where we are supporting our organization, our sales organization. We are also supporting our guys, our organization with rental of special cranes, for example. And this is what we are doing directly in Biberach. And with Thorsten Hesselbein, we have our team responsible for special projects, our Tower Crane Solutions team, who is offering worldwide best solution to find an economical solution with us together and with you as our customers also, to be able to run with an economical solution, Liebe Tower Cranes. Finally, if you think now Liebe is renting worldwide, Liebe is going to every customer to find the best solution. I can tell you, yes, that's true. But it's also true that we have our organization. As I said, we have our Liebe organization in some countries. We are running around about 2,000 rental cranes in our Liebe fleet. Who knows us knows that this is only in a few countries. And obviously we have our partners in the other countries who are supplying you the same as I showed you right now, special projects, rental cranes, and support on second-hand business as well as new cranes. Some of them are here, our colleagues from Vandersbeck and from US, from Morrow, and that's how we are operating. And I hope I gave you an idea what is our importance away from BIM, away from new possibilities, seeing the future that we might have a crane without an operator directly at the crane, but taking into consideration that for the next coming years and especially for the long-term future, we definitely will need service technicians, and we need to make marketing for that. And in the near future, we definitely will need operators, and that's what we have to work for. We are doing it, and I think lots of you are doing this also, and we should lobby this all together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Marco. Anybody got a question, please, for Marco? Peter? Gaz?
Thank you, Marco. One of the things you hit on, which is a key point, and I see as a global issue, is getting young people interested in this industry. And the key point you said is we talk about technology, BIM, but until cranes fix themselves or run themselves, we need people to do that. And in the U.S. now, we have partnered with KHL, the Specialized Carrier and Rigging Association, and NCCCO, which is the National Commission for the Certification of Crane Operators, in a partnership to have job fairs to bring young people in to see the crane industry and get interested in it. And I wanted to ask you if you know of that same program is happening in Europe or any of the other markets that you service.
First of all, I can only agree to that. That's exactly what we are facing. We are speaking about new system, new technology, but hopefully we are not losing the mind what about our operators and technicians. And yes, we are looking for that. If you ask me how we will do this, I can't tell you exactly. Actually, we are making, let's call it a marketing, starting in Germany, because that's where our basics are. That's where we usually know it best. But in the future, we want to do this to make a certain lobby that these jobs once more become more interesting for young people, for young staff. I mean, who has seen Simon Ma's presentation? I mean, I don't know. If I would have been 18, 19 years old, probably I would have said, look, I would like to run such a machine. Probably I wouldn't have said I want to be on the sea during these 2 days when there was this storm. But at the end, I think this business, what we are running, and this machine, and also the possibilities which are showing the future, we definitely have to do something on that, and we will do that and want to do that. And at the end, together with the partners in the several countries.
Yeah, it's a global problem because as I look around this room, I see all of our colleagues that I've seen for many years, and none of us are getting younger. So we need to get young people back into the industry, and I think it's a global issue that we need to address. But thank you, Marco.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marco. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. One aspect of the tower crane industry that can be much discussed, or has been in recent years, is the use of hoists to make it easier to reach the cab. This issue is coming to a head in France, where new regulations on operator access will have a significant impact on tower crane owners and operators. To address this topic, we have Pierrick Laudin, Commercial Director at Matibat, the French tower crane rental company that is part of the Archimet Group.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank warmly James and all his team because, you know, it's a special thing for me to be in a conference again. It's a long time we know each other. And we are talking, you know, during break. I did a conference, if you remember, 10 years ago. And the topic was how to create value for the construction market, and especially how to create value, added value, how to make money between manufacturer, rental company. And I must say, 10 years after, I'm left with the same questions. I've probably spent the last 10 years, you know, trying to make it work. And we are here again with, you know, that question is how to create an added value, how to make money. And I've been quite impressed. I must say I'm quite new, obviously, to this industry. I just joined the cranes industry 16 months ago. And since this morning, I can see, you know, we are, or you are all together putting money, knowledge, a lot of research, a lot of means, and all this, in my eyes, it has to be transformed in, you know, more business, more money for all of us. So, you know, I think every opportunity is a way forward, and I can see in France, driven by regulation, a new opportunity. Is becoming mandatory. So it was already the case when above 60 meters. It has now been, you know, a new involvement since 1st of January this year. So now it's mandatory to provide to the operator, but to erect the crane, you know, with a lift when it's above 50-meter elevation. And most importantly, it will become mandatory in 2 years for any crane above 30 meters. So if we are talking about today, crane above 50 meters, we are only talking about a small part of the market. It's only, say, 10% in France about the market. But when it will come in 2019, above 30 meters, we will consider probably between 60 and 70%. We'll come back to that, but my knowledge on lifting equipment is what I've seen, you know, starting by law in a country or in France will probably spread over Europe. So that was my idea as well, to give you an insight about what is already existing in France and what could be, you know, done in your country in the near future. One important thing is what does it mean in terms of, I would say, pure elevation and basically on a practical way for an operator. We took an example here about a standard crane, which is a Potin 178, you know, let's say very standard, 30 meter on the hook, which is consists of 6 mats of 5 meter. First thing you have to consider is lift can't start from the ground. Why? Because you got the base. So basically, technically speaking, you can't start from the ground. So you are losing the first 5 meters, the first mast. Then, lift entry and exit can't be done, at a mast level. It has to be done in the middle of a mast. So you are losing another, let's say, 2 to 3 meters. So the operator still has to climb, in the normal way, the stairs. Then, forget number 3, but let's go to number 4 first. The lift needs to stop before last mast to avoid, altering operator's visibility. So all that to say that in that configuration, which is the most standard one, the pure elevation done by the lift will be only 16 meters. So we can all wonder, about the added value of this regulation for a crane at 30 meters, because in reality, the operator will only use the lift for 16 meters. Then he will have to climb, the other part, and he will have to do 2 other, I would say, moves, which is the entry and the exit. When we talk with operators in France, I must say they are not quite convinced about the added value of this measure for such a low, height. Of course, it's changing when you talk about 50 meters or 60 meters. So what are technical solutions known today on market? I'm sure you are quite aware about it, but we have to distinguish 2 main solutions, which is obviously the first one is an external lifting solution. Opposite is an integrated one. So you got here 2 solutions which have been developed by manufacturer Potin. Today's Matebat solution we chose to use as a start because we wanted to be the leader on this, so we started to implement that on a few cranes. Our today's solution is the external one. Why? Because again, I think manufacturer, we have been all pushed to a corner in that, and the solution which was quite ready was the external one first. But for us, it's important to test the external for a simple reason. We want to develop that business not only for our use, but we want to develop that business for third-party business. So you can easily understand that it will be impossible to develop a third-party business, in other words, to rent to other people if it's an integrated one. So we started by that solution. One of the main advantage, obviously, is it's independent fitted, from the crane. So you can adapt it to every single crane, both our rental fleet, but also other rental fleet, because our ambition is to be the first provider in France. The lift cost is, I would say, quite reasonable, because we are talking at the minute about 25K, considering that we are at early stage volume. With the volume coming, we can expect that obviously price will go down. So you just have to keep in mind that it's 10% basically of the cost of the crane. So obviously return on investment, it's quite, I would say, quick, especially when you compare about the return on investment on the crane. So we went for Potin, as you can see on this picture, and you know probably better than me, but obviously you got other suppliers for that solution, the external one, which mainly at the minute are Gueda, and another French one, which are XL. Then, we are thinking, and I suppose everybody will think about, the alternative, which is the solution inside the mast. Main benefits, obviously, it will be erected, mounted at the same time as the crane, because don't forget, one of the drawbacks of the solution before is that it's another operation. You can't, erect it, you can't do it at the same time as you are erecting the crane. You have to do it afterwards. So it's more hours, more time, etc., etc. Obviously, when you talk to technicians, they are more comfortable with the safety of this solution because you feel more comfortable being inside the mast, I suppose, than being outside the mast. One of the big drawbacks at the minute, it's obviously the cost, because remember, we were talking about 25K before, here you are talking about 60K. That's a totally different picture. It's still a good return on investment for us, because we can consider, at the minute, we ambition to rent it 1,200 per month minimum. We wanted more, but we have a few funny people who try already to reduce the cost. But return on investment are quite quick again. Obviously, there is not only Potin in the world, as you know, and we got the German manufacturer Liebe, which I consider is in the process to develop a very attractive solution by having a solution integrated to the mast, but they keep as well the space for additional solution with the stairs. You know, as you can see, because that lift is quite small, you still have space for the stairs. Obviously, the drawbacks at the minute is that it's only suitable for Liebe mast. So when you want to develop like us, a global business, and we want to market it, that's for us at the minute, I would say, a limit. What I try to do here is to transform that regulation in terms of business. So what does it mean for us in terms of business? I just showed here an instant picture about Matebat fleet, you know. So at the minute, we got 555 cranes, which technically could be, you know, fitted with a lift. So you can see the breakdown. So you come back to what I said before. If you remain at the actual low above 50 meters, it's only 5% of our, you know, rented crane at the minute. But by 2019, when you consider the limit will be 30, then you got most of our cranes concerned. In other words, the plan would be for us instantly, if the law is going that way, to buy 340 lifts for our own fleet. That's only, again, for our own fleet. Then we will probably develop a third-party business, and we ambition to buy 1,000 lifts to serve the French market. So that gives you an idea about, in terms of potential, what it could be, you know, in the near future, because we are talking about only a 2 years time schedule. Another thing, which I'm sure you will have in other countries, lifts is becoming a requirement for big contractors, like, you know, the big French name like Eiffage, Bouygues, all people you know. It is already for certain of them, and it will become more and more a requirement, which, again, for us, you have